Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. And let's first look at the 4-hour chart. So yesterday we got to my target right here at 93.8 cents. And we completed the bigger third wave to the upside. The third wave has 5 waves up, which means we could go down right now. To confirm that the top is already in, we need a break below 82 cents, which is the 0.236 support level of the entire third wave move to the upside. And then I would also like to see a break below this low right here, which is at 79.8 cents. If we drop below this, then we are probably already in a fourth wave move down, and the support for this is between 75.6 cents and 70.8 cents, although I think we are only getting to the 0.382 support level, at least in my opinion, because this is exactly where the 200-day moving average is, and this is a very important level. Here we got rejected by the 200-day moving average many times in the past, and even here we tried using it as support and we failed. So what we need to do right now is get a correction and hopefully bounce off the 200-day moving average or the support level. So this correction is normal. I've been waiting for it for quite some time now. The third wave overextended quite a lot. And yeah, let's actually talk about the third wave real quick. So here we did not quite touch the 0.618 resistance level that I gave you for the fifth wave of the third wave. However, I can count this as a complete wave to the upside because, well, the third wave already overextended quite a lot, so we could be going down right now, and I'm gonna get rid of the resistance levels from the chart if we get below my levels that I already mentioned, 82 cents and 79.8 cents. But if we do not get below these lows, it's also probable that we get another high in the third wave and then we go down in the fourth wave. If that's the case, then the support zone will have to be adjusted, and let's say we get to about $1. If that's the case, the support zone for the fourth wave, as you can see, will be between 80.8 cents and 75 cents. So it all depends on, if we already topped right here or if we're going a bit higher. Doesn't really matter, to be honest, because the chart is still looking pretty healthy. Now let's look at the RSI. The RSI here, as you can see, we dropped below the moving average on the 4-hour, and this is usually a sign that we're about to get a much bigger correction. We have not been below the moving average too many times. We have been below it over here, and as you can see, we got above it and then we went higher, but right now it doesn't seem like we want to do that. And honestly, if we get to the oversold territory first on the 4-hour during this fourth wave move down and then we bounce in a fifth wave move up, it's gonna be pretty okay. So we'll see. And yeah, after the fourth wave move down, I'm still expecting a fifth wave move up, and the target for that right now, if the fourth wave gets to 75.6 cents, then the fifth wave move up should get around $1.10 and even $1.38, so somewhere in this green area. Obviously the area will have to be changed as well if the fourth wave move down only gets to like the 0.236 support level, which is not gonna be too great for the fourth wave move down, or if it even gets to the 50% support level. So this is where the fifth wave should get, somewhere in this area. And other than that, I want to talk about some comments I read yesterday. So people were asking me if they should buy right now, and obviously I'm not gonna give you any financial advice, but there were some people who said that they just bought and the price back then was at about 90 cents. And my question to these people is, where were you all of this time when Cardano was doing this over here? Where were you when ADA was down here at 30 cents and nobody was, talking about crypto? Where were you back then, and why are you buying right now? Why not buy when we are in the support zone, and why FOMO in instead of actually trying to find a good time to buy? For example, when we are in the support zone, I always tell you the best time to buy, at least in my opinion, and again, not financial advice, but the best time to buy is when the Cardano chart or any other chart is in the support zone, like it was over here 3 times in a row. This was a triple bottom and we reacted to the 0.618 support level many times. So where exactly were you when we got this move to the downside or this one? Because these were opportunities. These moves did not happen for no reason. We had this much bigger 1-2 setup here on the chart. pretty much since last year. So this was expected, and yes, we are expecting a third wave of the third wave, and you could probably make some profits in the short term at least if you get it right now. I'm not telling you what to do. I don't want to tell you what to buy or what to sell, but you could have made way more money if you actually invested smartly and if you actually tried getting Cardano or any other altcoins when we were down instead of when we are going up. What you are doing right now is only called FOMO, and FOMO means fear of missing out. And usually the people who FOMO in, like the person who bought at 90 cents, will have to lose some money in the short term, because I did tell you yesterday, but the third wave was almost done, and I did tell you that we could get a fourth wave move down, and I did not say that for no reason. I mean, the chart cannot go up in a straight line and the chart cannot go down in a straight line. So yeah, that's what we need to know. And also I saw another comment from someone who bought at 30 cents saying that if Cardano gets to only $8, it would be extremely disappointing. And I mean, that's only a 25x. Of course, it's going to be disappointing. But what I have to say with this is that maybe don't get too greedy, because if you bought at 30 cents and you are waiting for $8 to sell, you are probably not going to sell, and you're probably going to hold your altcoins to the bear market, and you're probably going to lose money. And yeah, that's not good, but you do what you want to do. But if you are not okay with a 25x, and even not a 25x, even a 10x is fine to me, but if you are not okay with that, then I guess that's your problem. Anyway, I want to look at the daily chart as well, and before I do that, I want to mention this red line on the chart, which I mentioned yesterday slightly, and we could actually get to it before getting another correction in the fourth wave. So if we get rejected here, it's also gonna be fine. And I saw a comment yesterday that mentioned that this red line actually connects to the previous all-time high. So this right here is gonna be a pretty significant resistance level, of course, if I actually manage to put it on the chart properly. And if we actually manage to break above it, at least 24-hour chart, this could be a good sign, because this is where we got rejected a couple of times in the past. So yeah, this is a very interesting thought, and thanks to who pointed it out. And let's also talk about the daily RSI for a second. Here we are still above the moving average, and we have been above the moving average ever since we started this move to the upside, and I think we're about to start dropping below it, because that's what usually happens. However, I think you already know this, but I mentioned this a couple of days ago. What we are doing on the RSI right now looks pretty similar to what we were doing over here. And back here, this was a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. If you only compare what happened over here, judging by where we were, at least, let's say, compared to the moving average, here we stayed above the moving average. Right here, let me actually zoom in on this. We stayed above the moving average, then we had a correction, we dropped below it. However, that did not confirm that the top was in. This was $1.13. We went down. This was a fourth wave move down, by the way. We dropped below the moving average, and then we got another high where we pretty much got rejected by the moving average. So I think it's possible that we actually do something like this right now, because we need a 4 and a 5, and then we need another ABC down, just like we had over here. Of course, I'm not expecting the ABC down to take this long, but it could be the perfect time to get below the moving average, and then at some point get a fifth wave move up, which puts us at new highs, maybe like at $1 or so, $1.10. Then we get rejected by the moving average, and then we go down in a much bigger ABC. And that's gonna be perfect, to be honest, and then we could get a third wave of the third wave of the third wave. So the chart is still looking pretty healthy, and let me talk about the weekly as well. And here I think we're about to test the moving average as well on the RSI, just because we usually do that every single time before we get any type of move to the upside. Here in November, we tested the moving average on the RSI, and then we bounced off of it. So yeah, we could be looking at a boring next couple of days if we actually start going down right now, but this is nothing to worry about. And I mean, I've been talking about a correction for a couple of weeks now, so this should not surprise anyone. Now let me go to the Bitcoin dominance chart, because Bitcoin dominance right now is bouncing, and it got exactly to the support level almost that I told you about yesterday. and we bounced off of it. So right now what we need to do is hopefully stay below the 200-day moving average. We could get a short-term bounce here just because the market is gonna get that fourth wave move down. Not only Cardano will get it, but Ethereum will probably get it as well, and I'm expecting Ethereum to drop to around $3,200 if this right here was the top of the third wave, meaning that in the short term Bitcoin dominance could get a short-term rally, like I said, and that could put us back to the 200-day moving average and even the bull market support band. What we need to do right now is stay above this high right here, and if we do that we are fine, but we also need to continue breaking down after this obviously, and we need to break below 60.3% because this is a very important support level. We used it over here as support and this gave us new cycle highs, so this cannot happen again, and if it does, this could give us new cycle highs yet again. So that's not what we want to see, but yeah, if we actually get to the 200-day moving average, hopefully we get rejected there and then we go lower, and if we do, the next target is 57% or so. So that's pretty much it about Cardano and Bitcoin dominance. And what you need to know is that this correction is normal, and other than that, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for the support on my last video. It got about 7,000 views in about 20 hours, which is extremely good for this channel. So yeah, if you enjoyed the content and if you want more, then check out the YouTube memberships and the Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. And by the way, the gold members get 2 bonus weekly altcoin videos, so we cover whatever you want us to cover. This week we covered Solana and we covered Cardano, where I gave you timed predictions, and I think last week we covered, I think it was Algo and XRP, and we even covered Caspa and Chainlink and VeChain. So if you want access to the bonus content, check out the memberships, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.